the meaning of psychological foundation of education, psychology comes from the Greek word psyche, which means soul, and logos means science. So, the psychological foundation of education is a foundation in the educational process that discusses various information about human life in general and the symptoms related to aspects of the human person at each stage of a certain developmental age to recognize and respond to humans according to the stage of their developmental age, which aims to facilitate the educational process. Psychological studies that are closely related to education are those related to intelligence, thinking, and learning. Psychological analysis will help educators understand the psychological structure of students and their activities so that we can carry out educational activities effectively.
Forms of educational psychology. Number 1. Psychological development. There are 3 theories or approaches to development, according to Nana Chaudhry, 1989. The first one is phasing approach. There are 2 types of stage approaches. There are comprehensive or general and specific. Developmental psychology, according to Roju, divides the child's development period into 4 stages. Babies from 0 to 2 years are mostly physical development. Childhood from 2 to 12 years, which is stated as a new development, such as primitive human life. Puberty from 12 to 15 years, marked by the development of the mind and willingness to adventure. Adolescent period from 15 to 25 years, prominent sexual growth, social, conscientious, and moral. This teenager has begun to study culturally. The second one is differential approach. This approach views these individuals as having similarities and differences. On this basis, then individuals are made into several different groups. The third one is ipsative approach. It is an approach that seeks to see individuals' characteristics of individuals.
Second, learning psychology. Psychologically, learning can be defined as an effort made by a person to obtain a conscious change of behavior from the results of his interaction with the environment. Activities and efforts to achieve behavioral change are seen as a learning process, whereas behavior change itself is seen as a learning outcomes. Psychologists tend to ask patterns of human behavior as a model that becomes the principles of learning. The principles of learning are then commonly called learning theories. There are 3 learning theories. First, classical learning theory. Second, the theory of learning behaviorism. And the third, learning theory of cognition.
Social psychology. According to Hollander, 1981, social psychology is the psychology that studies one's psychology in society, which combines the characteristics of psychology with social science to study the influence of society on individuals and between individuals. The formation of first impressions of others has 3 main keys. First, personality. Second, people's behavior. And the third, background to the situation. According to Klinger, the factors that determine learning motivation are: first, individual interests and needs. Second, perception of difficulties in tasks. And the last, hope for success.
Learning readiness and individual aspect. Learning readiness in general is a person's ability to benefit from experience that has found Complementary learner or learning citizen as the subject outline can be divided into 5 groups. 1. Character is the nature that is brought from birth. 2. General ability or IQ is general intelligence. 3. Special ability or talents are certain abilities that are brought from birth. 4. Personality is the appearance of a person in general. 5. Background is the environment where the family is raised, especially the family environment.
Benefits of teacher candidates learning educational psychology. First, to study the situation in the learning process, understanding individual difference or student, creating a conducive learning climate in the classroom, choosing strategies and learning methods, providing guidance to students, and evaluating learning outcomes. Then, for the application of the principle of teaching and learning, establish learning objectives, use of the learning media, and preparation of lesson schedules. Based on the description, it can be concluded that overall, educational psychology plays a role in helping teachers to plan, organize, and evaluate teaching and learning activities in